A brand new age-progressed police composite of a deviant who tortured, then murdered a small child. A man who has terrorized a tiny town in Indiana for close to 30 years and haunted this poor mother.
Do you still feel her?
Yeah, there's times I'll sit there and watch the TV and out of the blue, I'll have like a cold chill.
It was Easter weekend when Janet Tinsley's golden-haired girl disappeared from their Fort Wayne, Indiana neighborhood, where a crime of such sickening magnitude had never knocked on anyone's door before. Storm clouds were threatening on that fateful Good Friday. April wants to go play at her friend's house 2 streets down. When she's late for supper, her mom is in a panic.
Her mother called her in missing.
Obviously, when a child's missing, this is all hands on deck.
Yes.
Were there any witnesses?
Yes, the general consensus was April was seen leaving in a blue truck.
You're sitting there looking out the window and trying to think, where is she? Who's got her?
Cops and volunteers launch a massive search for the first grader. Janet believes in the very foundation of a mother's soul that her sweet daughter is dead. And then, on the 3rd day, a jogger discovers a child's twisted body at the bottom of a ditch. A police autopsy will reveal April Marie Tinsley suffered a hideous death.
How brutal was this crime?
Horrible. I mean, you got an 8-year-old girl that was sexually assaulted and strangled. I mean, she suffered. And we don't know exactly how long she suffered. It could have been 3 days of horror.
Anytime you guys see things like that, it's tough.
Yes.
But when it's a kid,
It makes it worse.
Not only that, the murderer seemed to revel in the depth of his depravity, leaving a sex toy in a shopping bag near little April's clothed body. Police find his DNA. Back then, police created this composite sketch of the suspect based on a witness seeing a white man in his 30s drag April into a light blue pickup truck. Appeals go out to the public.
where did it lead you guys?
Well, we don't have a suspect in custody. We have more than 600 suspects on our list. We have eliminated probably 450 to 500 in that range, and we still have 120 to 150 that we're working.
Then, chillingly, the killer returns. 2 years after April is laid to rest, he steps into the spotlight and scrawls on the side of a barn this sickening taunt. It reads, "I kill 8-year-old April Marie Tinsley. I will kill again. Ha ha."
That strikes me as kind of evil.
Almost taunting.
When you see something like that, some years later, does it make you think, is this guy gonna be at it again?
Puts us on edge, puts everyone on edge.
Cops step up their manhunt. At the time, armed with only an outdated composite sketch of a shaggy-haired white man in his 30s and his DNA from the crime scene, they still come up empty-handed.
What haunts you about this case?
The whole thing, that it happened in the first place, and it's been this many years and we still don't have answers for the Tinsley family.
The killer crawls back into his hole for 14 more years, but this pervert's sadistic, hopped-up ego needs to be fed. And in a manic flurry, he scribbles 4 more letters, each more despicable than the last, and then leaves them in plain sight.
They were left with little kids' bicycles or where little kids lived.
One reads, "Hi, honey. I've been watching you. I am the same person that kidnapped and rape and kill April Tinsley. You are my next victim. If you don't report this to police and I don't see this in the paper tomorrow or on the local news, I will blow up your house."
I can't imagine the families that received them letters, what they were going through at the time. Because whoever did it had to have been watching to know when they weren't going to get caught.
Knowing that this person is lurking and looking at children to possibly harm, how angry does that make you?
Disgusted, frustrated that we haven't caught him yet.
It's a paper trail of sorts. Each of the notes are written on yellow-lined paper and placed in a baggie. Even more vile, he includes a used condom with his DNA inside. He repeats these lines in all his posts. "Hi, honey," and "I've been watching." "Ha ha!" appears on the barn scroll and on a note.
How did you guys know for sure it was him?
A couple of the letters actually had DNA in it, and we were able to compare that DNA to the DNA we had from the original investigation, and it was confirmed that it was the same person.
But now, law enforcement might be gaining the upper hand. It's extraordinary cutting-edge forensic technology, a prediction of what the demented killer looks like today. An age-progressed composite constructed from his own DNA. That's right. It can unlock information like eye, skin, hair color, and bone structure, even freckles on his face, and it's all contained in the gene makeup. This is the old police sketch of the killer, based on an eyewitness describing him as white, long hair, and in his 30s. But nearly 3 decades have passed. Paraband Snapshot, the company that created the software program, took the DNA of April's killer, and with it, has created a whole new face of the monster. It could mean the first big break in the case. It's amazing. This is the first time the new face of the killer is being shown on national TV, and police are hoping it will aid them in solving this cold case. And finally, help the Tinsleys find peace. Or, at the very least, bring her daughter's killer to justice.
The police asked me if I ever found who did it, what would you do?
What would you do?
I'd be staring right at him, so that my eyes would be burning through the back of his head. If we found out that he died, I'm gonna go to his gravesite, dig him up. I'll spit on his grave.
Meanwhile, Janet finds solace here in April's garden, where she hopes to feel, once again, her beautiful blue-eyed daughter standing next to her.